Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all have your warm beverage. I know I have my coffee ready for a long stream. So get settled in. Tonight, we're playing Skyrim a little differently. We're not hunting dragons. We're not saving the world. We're going to be playing in survival mode, and we're building an expert merchant. That means tonight is going to be very slow and very cozy. I knew I should have kept the voice off for the intro. So we're going to be chopping wood today to get our economy up, catching fish, possibly cooking meals to stay warm, and grinding out blacksmithing, alchemy, and enchanting to make a living. But of course, in a very slow, role-play oriented fashion. We're just going to be surviving the cold and making some coin in concentrating on the small things in Skyrim that really make the game immersive. And so while we work in Skyrim, we're going to be challenging our minds with another worldview question that I think is at the root of every religion, not necessarily every worldview, but every religion and spiritual philosophy on earth. And that question is, what is wrong with humanity? Because every worldview acknowledges, in some way, that things are not the way they should be. Right? There's some kind of fracture, a gap between human beings and the divine. Or the ideal, or the cosmos, whatever spiritual worldview you happen to be coming from. Each just has a term to describe the same thing. And so why does that gap exist that we all feel all across the world? So of course, as usual, I'll be answering the question too, what is wrong with humanity? And of course, I'll be coming from a Reformed Christian perspective, as usual. We'll be taking a look at the doctrine of total depravity. This, of course, is the idea that the corruption in mankind is so deep that it's actually impossible for us to bridge that gap on our own in universe. But I also want to hear from you, whether you are a Reformed Christian or another kind of Christian, or you're agnostic, Muslim, atheist. How does your worldview explain the brokenness of man that we all see? And how do you reconcile it? So get comfortable. And let's talk about it. So from the biblical perspective, to understand what's wrong with humanity, you have to start at the beginning. More specifically, you have to start at the beginning as interpreted by our own very Apostle Paul. He interprets the beginning events of Genesis in Romans chapter 5 on our behalf, so that we don't need to, though doing so is fun. All you need to do with Genesis is believe what our apostle relates it to the gospel, or rather how our apostle relates it to the gospel. He does so again in Romans chapter 5. Right, that's where this corruption comes from. Paul said that through one man's actions, that being Adam, not through a man and woman's actions, not through one woman's actions, but through one man's actions, sin came, entered into mankind, and entered into the world through mankind. Now, the Bible explains as early as Genesis chapter 6 what it looks like for this to have happened. Before we go further in our explanation, sorry, the comment out there really threw me off. That was unexpected. But then I haven't been at it for a while, so it took me a moment to upload from my subconscious memory into my conscious memory who this person was. But I want to hear from you guys also before we continue the explanation. I remember what I was saying. I'm not going to finish it still, though. I want to hear from you guys. We'll finish it in a little bit. But we see what it looks like for sin to have entered mankind and the world as early as Genesis chapter 6. God describes what he sees. Feel free to go there and see if you can find it before we discuss it. But in the meantime, we're going to play a little bit. We're going to relax a little bit. If you're here to just enjoy, listen, and watch, and not chat, that's okay. That is fine by me. But I would like to hear from you. So I'll give it a few minutes before we continue into what God says is the result of corruption having entered mankind to such a degree. So I really like our Nord character, Ygritte, here. He's just a good old Nord. Blends right in. But unbeknownst to all of the merchants here in Tamriel, here in Skyrim, under our watch, Ygritte is going to become the most successful merchant in Skyrim, having mastered all merchant trades, and eventually, once we get high enough level, adding performance arts to his repertoire of making money. We're going to do some barding with Ygritte, that's right. When we get that far, I will have downloaded the Bard's College expansion. I hope you're excited about that, because I know I am. But at a high difficulty in survival mode, I feel like it's best at least for me, to play a very certain way. I'm not just playing this way just for the stream. I have 3 other characters that I have at various levels that I play the exact same way with. I work in some kind of profession, usually, it's the same thing here. It's not like you have multiple things you can do. You can chop wood, you can fish, you can start on your crafting trades. You don't have to start on your crafting trades. You can do, like, on a character you plan on playing the game strong with, like, questing, dragon, main quest, all that stuff. You can just, what I would do with that character is, like, maybe at the beginning, you're working like this for maybe 15 days. Maybe 15 in-game days. You're just chopping wood and building up a supply of food and salt and using the excess gold, which you will have plenty of, trust me, on training your skills and actually getting your skills up a little bit before you start trying to fight things, because on high difficulties, their hit points are expanded tremendously. Their damage is expanded. Your damage is lowered. You really have to have a good build and good strategy. Hi, Hippolyta. Good to hear a serious commenter. Thanks for commenting, Hippolyta. Always a pleasure to see you. So, we talked about Paul interpreting the events of the garden in Romans chapter 5. We talked about God verbally giving us a picture of the primary result of that as early as Genesis chapter 6. Unless I'm forgetting something between Genesis chapter 3 and Genesis chapter 6. Ygritte is getting close to ready for a nap, I think. Ygritte Strong Arm, or Stone Arm. Ygritte Stone Arm, that's the name. He's an honest merchant. Those are hard to find. Okay, so what does God say is the result of this corruption that took place in Genesis 3? So in Genesis 6, we get a clear picture. Genesis 6:5 says, "The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart." That's the picture that we get. So the Bible immediately answers this question. What's wrong with humanity? Genesis chapter 6. What's wrong with humanity? Genesis chapter 6. What's wrong with humanity is that the wickedness of man was great in the world, and every intention of the thoughts of his heart were only evil continually. I know I'm using past tense, but that's because so was Moses at the time of writing. But the same kind of language is prevalent in every stage of Scripture. And so that state continues on well into the New Testament. and beyond. If you're another kind of Christian, how does your worldview, like Hudson, if you're still here, for example, how does, how does your worldview answer the question, what's wrong with humanity? Why does humanity need something to reconcile him to the divine? Why? And then, how do you reconcile it? Trevor says, hey, greetings from Ireland again. Always glad to hear from Ireland. Heading to bed, but listening to you in the background. Appreciate your videos, especially a recent one on concurrence. Keep it up, brother. Yeah, that was a very long-winded video. There's a lot of information crammed into that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Only a very particular kind of person would enjoy that. The doctrine of concurrence is what is it, lost? What, do they just not know about it? Right? All of these anti-Calvinists? All of these raving anti-Calvinists, which you've already seen in the chat at the top there. If you don't, feed their flame, they fizzle out. So here in Whiterun, you can just chop wood right out there, walk right inside to the Bannered Mare, and sell your wood. Couldn't be easier than that. Oh, I still have audio, voice off. Let me turn that back on. $720 gold. Not bad.
Well enough. Are you joking? You just rented a room from me.
I was joking. I thought you would laugh instead of get upset at me, though, so sorry. Witchcraft Gaming. Good to see you.
Need anything else? Just let me know.
How's it going? He says, or she, I don't know. Do you know anything about Joshua Graham and Fallen? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Sing you a special song.
And if so, what are your thoughts on him as a character? Oh, yeah, he's a great character. He's an amazing character. He's one of, the favorites. Because of his ruthlessness, you know what I mean? And his his endurance, his survivability, it's just off the chart, He was set on fire and thrown off a canyon at the end of the, because he lost the war at Hoover Dam, or the Battle of Hoover Dam. NCR was waiting on him. They had their number, so to speak. And as loyal as Joshua Graham was, and as much of a zealot for the Legion as Joshua Graham was, Caesar needed a scapegoat. Caesar needed someone to make an example out of, so he takes Joshua Graham, sets him on fire, and throws him off a canyon, and he survives. And you meet him in a DLC for New Vegas, where he has gone off and joined these tribals, and he's a cool character. He's hardcore. I don't expect Bethesda to, well, I guess that was Obsidian, wasn't it? I don't expect Obsidian to give me perfect theology in a character, okay? They did their best. That's what I would say about his theology, probably. Not that, I don't know, it's all good. He's a little man-centered in his theology. But it's all good, man. Like I said, I don't expect this Obsidian to come out and give me like a monergistic soteriology or anything. Starting to get cold here in Whiterun. That happens sometimes. Though Whiterun is pretty temperate. Absolutely, yeah. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. Witchcraft gaming, because we often say when discussing the church fathers, because their theology can really be bad at times. Even like our favorite on this side, like Augustine, he had some times where he was like interpreting the parables, and it's like, bruh, what are you talking about? Like, what are you? Is this imagination station all of a sudden? And so, what we say about that is we gotta let them be who they are, and we gotta let them live in the time period they live in. We gotta let them be in the world that they live in. You know what I mean? And we have to appreciate the sovereignty of God in their particular circumstance, so we can't be too hard on them. And though Joshua Graham, of course, is a fictional character, I think the same thing would apply to what you just said. The idea that he lives in a post-apocalyptic world under the Caesar's Legion, and he just got caught, set on fire, and thrown off of a cannon, and found his way to some tribals by the grit of his own, you know, barely hanging on skin. So I think it's a fair assessment. You gotta let Joshua Graham be who he is in the time that he is and in the circumstances he's in. I'd say, you know, if you come out of those circumstances praising the name of Jesus, I mean, it's good enough for me. I know that, but they do want to make him seem like also a scholar, but it's okay. I'm not hating on him at all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely, you're right. Fictional characters are a good way to practice, especially, you know, well-written lore characters who live in worlds that have well-written lore. Because you know that this guy, here's the thing, within this secondary universe of Skyrim here, their theology is intact there, you know what I mean? The theology of the 8, possibly 9 divines, and the way that reality came to be, and all of that is obviously not true for the primary reality that we live in, but it is very true for the secondary reality here. And so we can make a lot of parallels to
What can I get you?
extra-dimensional perception while playing a game like this. Because that's exactly what we have here, is because though I am
They're saying it's because
you know,
of the
controlling Ygritte here.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days?
In a sense, he exists in his own secondary reality where, you know, he's not going up the stairs because I'm pressing the W key forward, right? He's going up the stairs because he's tired. Well, he's actually not tired. I came in here to get warm. He thought he was tired for a second, and then he turned around
What? Why are you
and
looking
realized he's just warm, right? So I'm making him do this, but in the secondary universe, when I'm playing, I like to think in my mind of his reasoning for doing what I'm doing, right? And as a matter of fact, I do it the other way around. I try to determine what he would do, and no matter my opinion, I do it. No matter what my opinion would be about what he's doing, I do the action he would do. Because that's the way, that's what makes video games fun to me. Roleplay.
So, I'm writing songs for you.
Why, John?
Right, like, am I a thief in real life? No, of course not. I would never steal from anyone. It would make me feel very guilty if I did. I would feel sick to my stomach. But I love to play a thief in roleplay on Skyrim.
It turned into something of a ballad.
A ballad? Oh,
You know.
Now I know you're joking with me.
It's all true, I swear it. You can hear it when it's done. I'll just need a year or two to smooth the rough edges.
I thought as much.
I think he's warm enough to continue.
I enjoy this work well enough. Honest gold for honest work. Need anything else? Just let me know.
What does he think about Talos? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. He's not really sure what to think. You know, he's more like more of a sensualist, except, you know, he's honest, but he does want to make a profit, you know, and he works hard. He doesn't have a lot of time to think about that kind of stuff, and in his mind it's more like, we're here, you know, what good does it do you when you figure out why we're here? And no matter what you know about Talos, you still have a piece of wood to chop, and you'll likely get less chopped if you waste time sitting there, thinking about philosophy. That's what Ygritte thinks. He's brought up in the culture where Talos has entered the Nine, and so that's his base worldview. But at the same time, he doesn't know enough about it, doesn't have enough interest or time to really consider it much, and so he would follow procedure among the Nords, but not really care that much. I think that he would definitely be sympathetic toward their plight against the Aldmeri Dominion, who's attempting to flush out the Talos religion. Well, in reality, we can know why we're here. I suppose there are a nearly infinite number of sub-reasons. But the primary purpose would be the purpose, whatever the purpose of our Creator had for his original design. which the Bible describes as a life whose end leads to the glorification of God. In either one of two ways. One, an expression of God's judgment taking place, his perfect judgment against sin. That expression will bring him glory when it's perceived by beings who are made in his image. Because when that time comes, beings who are made in the image of God will recognize the judgment of God for what it is, and that will bring him glory. And of course, the expression of God's mercy, his unmerited favor and kindness, in the face of absolute disgust. Kindness and mercy despite disgust. And not just arbitrary disgust, but disgust from the perspective of a holy character who's viewing sin. Which, of course, is warranted disgust. Of course, is just disgust, right? Guys, if you are here on a mobile device and you are enjoying the content, do me a favor and click the like button. That'll help boost the algorithm, get more people involved with the conversation. Okay, our money situation's looking decent. We got 3K right now. Tomorrow we're gonna do some shopping and try to spend some money to make some money. At least, you know, we won't be making a lot of money at first. It'll be slow, and we'll be mostly building our fundamental skills behind our expert merchant. We'll be starting on his crafting skills. I'm considering, I suppose we should maybe we won't spend money on training. I don't know. If we were to spend money on training, I don't know what we would spend it on. You know, the crafting skills pay for themselves, really. Eventually, that is. Not at first. Though alchemy is quick. It's a quick return on alchemy. Quick return on blacksmithing if you're using gold to make jewelry rather than making weapons. You can add gems to that jewelry to make it more expensive. Your skill gain in blacksmithing is based on the expense of the item that you craft. Not like the weight or size or intricacy of the item, but the price value of it. The higher the price value, the higher the skill gain. Same with speech. The same with alchemy and enchanting too, though, actually. See that lady in the blue dress over there? Just out of sight, she's walking around the house right now. We're going to be getting her a mammoth tusk so that we can go to Riften and get an amulet of Mara and ask her to marry us. She is a good wife to get because she opens, once you get married to her, she opens a trading caravan like her dream is, and that means she has like 500 to 750 gold, and you can trade with her, and she has like a leveled general trade store and right at your house. So that's really good. It's really good to have that, which of course makes money also every day. I think 100 gold a day, I'm pretty sure. And hey, don't knock cutting wood until you play on Legendary Survival and you chop for a good 15 days, and then you have such a strong start on Legendary mode because you can buy a lot of skills. Now, we're not playing that way on this one, of course. We're just going to be a merchant, and we're just eventually going to be a really high level character with our merchant skills and really not have done many quests. Though, when we start our little barding pilgrimage, and we get the Bard's College expansion, we'll have to do some combat during that because they have combat missions. So Ygritte will get his hands dirty a little bit during that. In a different kind of way, I mean. Because his hands are pretty dirty right now from these logs. Welcome to the stream. Had a lot of new people come in the last few minutes. The question we posed at the beginning is, in your worldview, what is it that's wrong with humanity? If you have a religious or spiritual worldview, you likely often struggle or have an answer to that question. What is it that's wrong with humanity that causes a need for reconciliation to the divine? What is it? How do you reconcile it? Anchored Sage. That thumbnail was meant for you, sir. We've been expecting you. And welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I hope it's not too cold where you are. But if it is cold, I hope you have something warm to drink.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
Well met, kinsman.
I enjoy this work well enough, but I'm ready to... Sure thing, it's yours for a day. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
When she has a new inventory, we know that
I'll show you the
Acadia's
door right
Cauldron
this way.
will also have a new inventory. And now we can go buy out her ingredients and hopefully make some new potions.
So have you spoken to that man from the Bard's College?
Not yet.
No, not yet. But I will. I just haven't got... round to it yet.
Oh, John, stop dallying.
I'm reading your comments.
It's why Mara put you on this earth.
Let me know if there's
You
anything
think
else
a
you
few
need.
miles can truly keep us apart?
According to your understanding of Christianity,
About me the moment I'm out of sight.
my one and sole object is to worship God, but I don't want to.
Have 16 babies.
I want to, sure, but I
That might
don't
be
want
the
to.
plan. Now
That-
I
no,
suppose
that-
we'll never leave.
That does make sense. That is how, you know, so the Bible,
Well met, kinsman.
that is the way that the Bible describes mankind.
Yes.
As not only do they not want God, they hate God. The natural man is at enmity with God. Now that's the real God, right? That's the God as described in Scripture. Not that there is not some version of God that you have in your mind that you may desire to want to worship. But the idea that Scripture posits is that no man seeks for God. And that Jesus came to seek and to save that which was lost. And he knows his sheep by name. They were given to him by the Father. He knows them by name. He will by no means lose even one of them. He calls them by name, and when he calls, they come. No, I understand. It's okay. Not everyone, you know, I don't expect anyone to have a closed loop of an answer to that question other than another Reformed Christian. Not because I don't, you know, I think you're not intellectual enough to answer the question or something like that. I think there is no other answer. And the topic is just an icebreaker, to be honest. We can talk about whatever you'd like. Our sin is the heart of what's wrong with humanity. Anchored Sage. It's well stated. That is well stated. The J Master 21, how's it going? Worship is an appeal to authority and idolatry. If you want to know what's wrong with humanity, find out what is responsible for both and thrusted it on humanity. So we talked about that some yesterday. And that's actually great that you brought that up, because that's what we described as the bad analogy for God's sovereignty. Because the reason is that imagines God as a causal factor within the secondary universe. As in, you've got the domino tipper, right? But, however, God's decree, God's ordination of what happens within the secondary universe comes from outside the boundaries of time and space. The domino tipper is actually within the secondary universe. The actual domino tipper, the actual person who set up the dominoes, though it's not necessarily a person doing that within the secondary universe, it's all circumstances combined, right? The domino tipper in universe is not God. And that's why he bears responsibility. But not all of it, because it's not so simple as man setting up a line of dominoes and watching them fall in a predetermined path. It's not quite so simple. It's thinking, rational, reasoning beings with a spiritual ailment in various circumstances on the material plane, being governed by material laws, right? That's much different than dominoes lined up. That's much more complicated. J Master said the word God refers to a false idol. We'll see. What kind of worldview are you coming from? Like materialism, or perhaps sorry, I'm uploading information from my subconscious right now. Give me just a second. Well, I suppose you're not exactly an atheist if your problem is that God did these things. Maybe you live in the right worldview and you just hate the God of it. That's to be expected. That's not a surprise. Road Calvinist was predestined to play the stealth archer. So when I play an archer, I do maybe start out as stealth and try to take out as many as I can in stealth mode, but I play on high difficulty, so it doesn't always work out quite like that. And so, but I max out the perk tree on Ordinator if I'm playing archery, and I like to get the things that make him combat viable while not stealthing, like moving very fast and making the opponents move slow by crippling them, and like running circles around them. And you know, I do like to eventually enter like a mobile medium range combat mode with the bow, actually. But I play all different kinds of characters, though. One of my favorites is the Illusionist Thief. It's just so fun. And it's a little OP because of the Dragon Horde perk.
I've got a recipe for venison stew that I want to try out. Will you have venison?
Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm glad you're here, glad you're enjoying it. If you're on a mobile device, do me a favor and like the video. That helps the channel a whole lot. Now, if you're watching this on TV, I don't expect you to make huge arrangements to come and give me a like on the video. Just relax. It's okay. Witchcraft Gaming, that was very astute. I would agree with that assessment. Words like God and others are just imperfect representations of whatever God actually is, which can't be properly expressed in words or images. That is exactly right. That's exactly right. Right. So the Bible has an area that discusses something like that, that's, you know, that the knowledge of God is beyond searching, that we are revealed so little compared to the infinite nature of God's character, right? Because you can only fit so much of the infinite in a finite human language. Notice the one eye when you sneak in Skyrim, same eye on the dollar bill and pyramid.
And steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
I usually play on easier difficulties and roleplay characters. I really enjoy the Witch Hunter style character. Yeah, that's a cool character. I do enjoy increasing the difficulty and slowing down the roleplay,
Finest cut,
as you can see.
fresh from the wilds.
He is incomprehensible, but not unknowable. Yeah, he's not unknowable. Unknowable. What has not been revealed is unknowable. Well, not necessarily. I suppose there are knowable things that have not been revealed, but there are also unknowable things that have not obviously been revealed because they can't be revealed. They're unknowable. But yeah, no, I'm not trying to make like a comparison of percentages of knowable and unknowable things. Just trying to open up the mind to consider that God's character is infinite. God's attributes, the nature of his attributes are infinite. The nature of his personality is infinite, you know, and some of those concepts go beyond likely what the human mind can even conceive of within the boundaries of our reality, because it's not as if God designed a reality that could contain the entirety of his being. Of course it can't, because he's infinite, right? So a finite space, it's just a syntax error. It's not possible. So that's all.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Paul Tillich, I don't know who that is.
Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Is that like an agnostic, you can't know God kind of thing? I mean, we can know a lot about God. God has designed us in his image, right? And
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection.
in the context of this particular conversation, that gives us a lot of capability in that area. It's just that we're dead in sins, and so we have a little bit of a spiritual block at first.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough.
I know what you're trying to say, though.
Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut
We're
of
always
steak
trying to keep
or
the
a tender rack
guardrails
of
up.
ribs.
I can appreciate that. How do you square free will with predeterminism? Well, first of all, I believe free will is just a lie. I don't believe free will is true at all. I believe that we have wills that are enslaved. I don't believe in free will.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of finest wines.
It seems to me that free will can actually exist within determinism. Like, you could be chopping wood anywhere right now, as a small example. But that's just in your imagination, though, right?
Had enough of fish and
You imagine that I could
yourself and your kin
be
to a
chopping wood
choice
anywhere,
cut of
but
steak or a tender rack of ribs.
I won't actually be, right? That's just something that you're imagining in your very complex, imaginative mind. You imagine that I could be, but that's just...
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of finest quality meats.
On what basis? Right.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Let's break that theory down.
Tired of bread and stew?
Really.
Had enough of fish and fowl?
Let's break it down to its
Yourself and your kin
primary
to a choice cut of
components.
steak or a tender rack of ribs.
The idea that I could chop wood anywhere. Where do we get the idea from?
Let me know if if you want anything.
Well, we get the idea
Clean my desk
from
here somewhere.
the fact that I have many options of places to chop wood at. Right, that's obvious.
A fine day to you, friend. May you die with a sword in your hand. Are you joking? You just rented a room from me. Honest gold for honest work. Need
I just
anything
made
else? Just let me know.
1470. That was really good. That was a really big
If
boost.
it's work you look, huh?
But that's not, having the options is not the only factor in play, and whether or not I could. Just the options being there. How many more factors can you imagine? And what weight? What weight do you give each of those factors in the scale of whether or not I could or could not?
If it's
Right?
work you need,
Does
how about
only
chopping up some
the
wood for
option
fires?
of places to chop wood lend weight to the could or could not
I
variable?
enjoy this work well enough, but I'm ready to
Or are there
move on.
other factors that
I've been
lend
thinking of selling the
as
installment.
much, less, or more weight
Anyway,
to
what
that?
do you need?
Does the convenience of this wood chopping block being next to the bannered mare, which happens to contain an NPC inside of it that I can sell the chopped wood to and also sleep and buy food in the same area, don't you think that that plays a higher factor in than just the fact that multiple options exist in general?
I don't suppose you're going to buy something this time?
Many factors, that's what I can think of as probably the primary factor in whether or not I could or could not, based on my own
If they do, promise me you'll purchase something for once.
view of what's likely that lowers the percentage sum. What else is there? I'm sure I'm not creative enough to explore all of the examples. I'm going to look at your chats here.
Chops and steaks fit for a yarn.
You can only be evil by choice of free will. Where do you get that idea from? That's a claim
Tired of bread and stew.
of knowledge.
Fish and fowl.
You're claiming to have
A choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
knowledge of the fact. You can only be evil by choice of free will. Where do you get that idea from? Evil cannot exist without free will.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
I'd really like to hear your logic behind that. I don't find that to be a logical statement. That evil cannot exist without free will. How is that? Evil is an objective list of right or wrong, right? If something on the list has taken place that's in the wrong category, evil has taken place, whether the actor was free or enslaved or whatever. It's just, the action is still evil, right?
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
So I'd love to hear your rationale behind that kind of statement. Anchored Sage said Paul Tillich was an existential theologian who claimed God is unknowable and appealed to mystery to reject classical accounts of God's nature.
Fish and fowl. Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak
Okay.
or a tender rack of ribs.
Until you wrong him, until you wrong Paul Tillich in an objective way, then I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he's well aware. Right?
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
The truth becomes suddenly very obvious.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak.
If someone steals something from you, your heart screams that it is wrong in the eyes of God. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Of course it does, Paul Tillich. I know you don't agree with Paul Tillich.
Chops and steaks.
I'm just bantering.
Come and see my selection of the finest qualities.
Witchcraft Gaming says, since God is all-powerful and knowing, there could be no choice you can make that would not have already been accounted by him. In my little theory. Yeah, and so, you're right, but it goes deeper than that.
Finest
Because
cuts, fresh from
God
the
has a
wilds.
purpose with creating a universe. And so fulfilling that purpose is paramount. Right? And so, to fulfill that purpose, God needs to
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or tender
guide
rack of
history
ribs.
toward that purpose. Right? Now, in a biblical worldview, God does so while leaving the natures of creatures intact, not by controlling those natures,
See my selection of the finest
but by embedding them with genuine natures. Embedding them with genuine natures that respond to genuine circumstances in a predictable way.
finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Predictable in God's infinite logic, that is, right? And so they do exactly what he has decreed for them to do. And they do it from their own volition. However, their volition is not free. Their volition is enslaved to sin.
Tired of bread and stew?
Now that looks different in different people
Treat yourself and your kin to a choice
because there are
cut of
different
steak
flavors of
or
sin.
tender rack of ribs.
He who commits sin is a slave of sin. When you commit sin, your binding becomes more specific.
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Yeah, you can't. You cannot force your children to love you. Right, but that's not what we're saying God's doing. Humans are not God's children. Human beings just out the gate are not God's children. They are wicked by nature.
Fish and fowl. Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut
You are
of
God's
steak
children when
or
God
tender rack of
adopts
ribs.
you.
The finest cuts, fresh from
But
the
still,
wilds.
even so, the idea that, see, yeah, you, that's the key word. You cannot do that. You cannot force your child to love you, because then it would not be love. Because you don't have any kind of cosmic or supernatural abilities over your child to make such a genuine change in his heart, right? You would have to do so through manipulation, violence, whatever your tactic is. It certainly isn't a supernatural heart change. You're not changing your child on the heart level and causing him to love you from an inward place, right? Your tactic is different. That's why you can't do that. You are acting from within the secondary universe, right? That's the denial of truth is the denial of life. That's just a poetic anecdote. That's a platitude. That doesn't mean anything. That's poetry. That's beautiful. Ultimately meaningless. And again, the claim of evil is a choice by free will to deny truth. That's just a random claim, right? There's nothing building the foundation of that claim. Just a very strong imagination. That's not good enough. Anchored Sage said, would you say you are more a compatibilist or decretalist? I think compatibilists are trying too hard to compensate for someone else's philosophy, like trying too hard for no reason to include someone else's philosophy into our worldview. Right? They're just trying to humor humanists who really believe free will is real, and because they do, compatibilists feel like they need to reconcile it, and they just don't. They don't need to. They need to go deeper. Now, the compatibilist, of course, makes a distinction between an abject freedom of will, right? A will that is abjectly free from any moral persuasion, right? Try to imagine that. But and I'm not saying that they're wrong. That's not the idea. I'm not saying that compatibilists are wrong in their philosophy. They're right. I just think they're worried about the wrong thing, and they're trying too hard to reconcile someone else's philosophy. And they are right, though. And they're right because they make the distinction between this abject moral neutrality and creaturely will. And that is a creature that has genuine desires. Now, those desires aren't in a neutral place. Imagine any time in your life when your desires have been completely neutral. That doesn't make sense, right? Of course not. Your nature, your will, is enslaved to whatever drives you. You take actions with an internal driving force. You don't take them from some place of abject neutrality like a Tibetan monk, right? Those guys have been looking for this place of just absolute freedom from the material world for centuries, and They've not found it, right? And so what makes us think that in Christian theology that humans just begin that way, right? But anyway. Oh, the decretalist. So the distinction between the two is that I am more of a decretalist, yeah. God's decree is fulfilled, but it's just the decretalist knows that God's decree is fulfilled by the natures of the creatures within God's secondary universe, right? They willingly fulfill his decree. Do they free willingly? No, right? Their wills aren't free. They're enslaved wills, but they're still wills nonetheless. They're spiritually enslaved. And so that enslavement keeps the perception of freedom intact on the material plane. Because you're doing what you desire. But why do you desire what you desire? And can you choose what you desire? No, of course not. You just desire what you desire. You find yourself with a desire, and then you fulfill the desire. Did you put the desire in yourself? Of course not. You found yourself with it. You found yourself with a desire. It can be that, Jake. It's not necessarily Calvinism versus anything. This is on anyone to answer the question from their worldview. What's wrong with humanity? You know, because all religions, all spiritual philosophies at least, not necessarily all philosophies, all spiritual philosophies recognize there's a gap between humanity and divine. What is it? What caused it? What's wrong with humanity, and how do you reconcile it? That's what we've been discussing, but of course, it's just an icebreaker. You can talk about whatever you'd like. Witchcraft Gaming says, I feel a lack of free will cheapens the experience we call life. Again, that's just an anecdote, right? We mean cheapens the experience. Cheapens? By what degree? Cheapens by what objective degree, right? None. Just an imaginative phrase, right? Creates accountability issues. Let me continue reading what you said. And wouldn't God want us to choose him? Being predetermined to not choose God seems odd. Here's the idea. God did not create a reality so that he could test whether or not creatures could do what he designed them to do. Right? Every creature that God creates does exactly what he has designed them to do. Right? And that is not a question in God's mind whether that is the case. So he did not create a universe to see whether or not human beings made it in his image would choose him or not choose him, or this and that. This is the idea. This is the idea. Okay? Like we talked about earlier, the distinction between the two ways that God has chosen to glorify himself with this universe. One displaying his judgment, the other displaying his mercy. Okay? Now, listen. If you can choose God, what aspect of God is being glorified by that? God's ability to reward a good decision? That's... An evil man can reward a good decision. That's easy. Right? The Bible never describes God desiring to display his ability to reward good decisions with creation. The other half is not a reward system. The other half is God's mercy, his grace, his willingness to pardon, to forgive, despite the hatred toward God. Right? And so God is having mercy in the face of hatred toward him. God is saving someone who hates him. Evil cannot do that. The kind of mercy that God displays from a place of looking at sin from holiness, that deserves glorification. God doesn't get something if someone chooses him. What does God get? Worship points like Talos? Does it strengthen him like the 8 divines? No. He is the uncaused caused. He's not dependent on anything. Doesn't need us. Doesn't need our decisions. Our decisions do nothing for him. His purpose with reality is to glorify himself. And he's chosen 2 ways. Now, you can see a picture of these 2 ways being displayed simultaneously in one action. Both the judgment that God has towards sin and his mercy towards sinners. You can see them displayed side by side simultaneously in the same action of Christ on the cross. The brutal fashion of his death being the display of God's judgment towards sin, and it having been done for the intention of redeeming humanity, displaying the mercy in the same action.
What can I get you? Are you joking? You just rented a room from me. Honest gold for honest work.
But then he went
Need anything else? Just let me know.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed.
Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our meat.
Human volition is real. Yep, that is true. That is very true. More people should make that distinction between volition and freedom of will.
And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. It's governed by nature instead of some bright, indeterminate choice, like just a free neutral, just completely at one. You know what I mean? Like, not bound by any personal
I work for Bellathor.
desire, psychology. No weight whatsoever from any circumstance that's ever taken place in your life. Come on. No circumstance has ever taken place has weight whatsoever on any decision that you make. It's all just completely neutral. Come on, guys. We don't believe that. I may not agree, but you express yourself well. Thank you. And your view is understandable, including that you don't view this experience as a kind of test. Yeah. I suppose a lot of Christians would kind of explain their worldview in that way, like it's a test to see whether or not they'll make the good decision. That may be the way a lot of Christians describe their faith, but it is no way but biblically accurate. And I like to learn new perspectives too. Definitely happy to hear everyone's answer to the question tonight, what's wrong with humanity? Right. Right, but what, so, where does the nature come from? Right? And when you say I view it as an influence, like where do you get the, like where do you get the objective definition of what an influence definitely does and definitely does not do as far as the weight? Right? It's all just passionate imagining, right? What I'm trying to emphasize when I say that is that none of the things that I believe are imagined. Not one. They were all laid out in Scripture. I don't need my imagination for that. Perhaps I might use my imagination to articulate it. But that's what makes it easy, because that's all I'm doing is using my imagination to articulate it in a different order of words, but I still have the foundation given to me by Scripture, right? And so I don't have to use phrases, and again, this isn't like some kind of insult or something. It's hopefully a mirror to the worldview. It's a mirror to the way that the worldview answers the question. It's just kind of a anecdotal, slogan-oriented response, right? That provides an internal endorphin-based response upon repetition. And then it's gone though, right? Then it's gone and you're left with the content. May really enjoy reading Jonathan Edwards' Freedom of the Will. Oh wow, that was a good suggestion. Spiritualism in conservative America is a big problem. Big problem. We've got spiritual conservative people who are tying their values in with Christianity when that's unnecessary, and Christianity does not necessarily hold to the values that they are expressing. right? We have an administration right now who's trying really hard to tie many cultural traditions in with Christianity that don't belong there, with the MAGA movement. This pride. Like, both sides have the same thing. Both sides have a problem with the same thing expressed in a different way. Pride. One has gay pride. One has pride just in being proud, you know? One's proud about being gay, and one's proud about being proud. Good for both of you, you know?
Seconds for my supper is all I ask.
I got 2 more hours of chopping wood. We're going to chop until 8 a.m. and then we're going shopping. We're going to get some ore. We're going to get some potion ingredients. I don't know what else we're going to get. We're going to get some stuff, though. Might train some things. I want to keep our skills balanced. I don't really want anything to get much higher than another right now, other than, like, my main skills, that is, speech, blacksmithing, alchemy, enchanting. Enchanting will be a later skill that we work on once we have more money to buy soul gems. Ygritte doesn't really understand a whole lot about soul gems right now. He just knows that they're powerful gems you can buy. But he'll learn. Mostly comes from me because I was very depressed believing my entire life was predetermined. Yeah, that's natural in the human state. That believing that your entire life is predetermined should bring you depression. Absolutely. And that's because in that state, we don't believe that God has a right to do that. And we don't think that the purpose that he's bringing forth in it is worthy of those things being done. Right? And so the idea is, once God changes your heart to love him, that you do genuinely love him. And so, given that you genuinely love him, you now suddenly do agree that his purposes are worthy, that his glorification is the ultimate good, and that your life being a pawn in that purpose is more, much, much more within the boundaries of God's rights. As creator. But of course, without love of God, none of that registers. I can respect that. At the end of the day, I don't think I can go back to that. As my current view, it makes more sense to me personally, but I do wish more people could have these discussions. instead of what Calvinist was astutely saying about our current politics. Yeah, no, they want each other. They want to create. This is exactly what they want. They want to create two demographics and have them fight each other, so that they can do the things that they do in the shadows that, you know, they're putting right in front of our face with this whole Epstein business. They have us arguing over here. They can do whatever they want. They can do anything. They can do whatever they want. They'll get away with every bit of it because we'll just be sitting here at each other's throats for their pretend values, right? Their pretend gas-litten values, right? They gaslighted us into having values as demographics and made us fight over them because they created the optimally opposite value systems on purpose. When someone comes to me with politics, I'm like, I feel like I live in a different world than they live in. Honestly, I do. I feel like they're describing to me a fictional story, like they're telling me Skyrim lore, or they're telling me like the contents of a fictional novel, or like, you know, something in a story or a show that they're watching, and you know, the information they're giving me is true, according to the lore, according to the circumstances of the show, right? The fictional story that we're talking about. But they're telling me it as if it's reality, like it's reality, right? Like real. And I'm listening to them like, this feels like someone's describing to me the show The Walking Dead, and as if it's a real life. And I'm like taking a couple steps back, you know, like, wait, you know, this is a stage within a stage within a stage, right? Right? It's those who are in, we are living on those who are in power's stage, a stage which is set on a stage set by the devil, which is a stage set on a stage set by God. We're living in a stage within a stage within a stage. Are you really think the third stage is the, like, that's reality? You're talking about it as if that's real, like base reality? That's the Matrix. The third stage is the Matrix. Avatar 115, good to see you. Seeing through illusions, false beliefs, and control systems is cool and all, but can you talk about something cool like extrasensory abilities? Extrasensory abilities, you say? So it's a topic I have some experience with. A topic that I've done some personal research into. Particularly fond of remote viewing. Which the first time I heard of remote viewing actually was It was a psychic ability in the tabletop game Rifts for a psionic character. They could touch any object and spend their psionic points to locate the last owner of that object and see where they were. We live in a very strange universe. That is the material that we see is an illusion, and below it are quantum frequencies, of which we don't even begin to understand.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. I haven't seen my sweatshirt.
We can't make sense of it. When atoms and elements, the periodic table, when those are the smallest things and the building blocks of reality that make sense, the Legos that we can see how they fit together atomically if we study it long enough, when that's the smallest part of reality, things still make sense. When you go lower than that, we see that the fact that the material reality continues to exist in the way that it does is an absolute miracle beyond science, right? It should immediately dissolve and become something else every single conceivable instant. Now, the reason I gave that foundation to that topic is that I think that it is these very quantum anomalies, quantum fluctuations, quantum mysteries that allow for such things as extrasensory abilities. Jopi the Legend, hey, I recognize your profile picture. Unless you're just a different person with the same profile picture. Regardless, good to see you. What time is it? 10 o'clock. Okay, we pushed it for 4 more hours. We're going to go take a couple hours worth of a nap. And then we're going to get up and do some shopping. We might sleep till 2 and just catch the whole afternoon wave. Get a good nap in after all that wood chopping.
How about shopping up honest gold for honest work?
Another 850 gold, guys. You can't. Don't knock chopping wood until you've tried it. If you have the funk, you can see around corners. How's that for extrasensory? Yeah. Yeah. And especially, I think a lot of Reformed Christians, especially too, would mostly scoff at the conversations about extrasensory abilities. But God did not ever, even after compiling scripture into a leather-bound, novel form, right? Even when he did that, he did not write the manual on the human being, right? No matter what kind of anecdote some emotional Christians want to say, the Bible is not a manual on the human being. No one ever said in the Bible here's a list of all the abilities of a human being has.
Are you still working with the Bannered Mare in the evenings, Elfrina? And why shouldn't I? Just because I'm a gray main doesn't mean I can't.
Here's a little piece of hidden lore you guys might not know.
I'm sorry I asked.
If the current owner of the bannered mare passes away, Isolde, the marriage option, takes her place. If you're the kind of character who has evil thoughts and intentions, you could intentionally dispose of the owner of the bannered mare and then marry Isolde after she becomes the owner of the bannered mare. Then at that time, you become the owner of the bannered mare. If you move in with her, that is. If you have her move in with you, then not so much.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions. You look rather pale. Could be. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Looks like we have quite a few people in here right now. Thanks for being here. If you enjoy this kind of content and you're watching or listening on a mobile device, do me a favor and leave a like on the video. It really helps the channel a lot. Helps YouTube know that this is a video worth watching, if you think that it is, genuinely. Okay, not a whole lot of ingredients.
Back anytime if you need a remedy.
So we may be just holding on to them for a few cycles. Nothing wrong with that.
Well met, kinsman.
I really need to warm my coffee back up. It got cold over here.
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in one. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
Okay, we're gonna spend a little money on iron ore.
Forget to check inside the shop if you need anything. Have you met my father? He's a steward up at Dragon. Reach. My father in more ways than people realize. good pieces out here if you're looking. I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Yorland Greymane's got that on him. Man's steel is legendary. All I ask is a fair chance. Take a look.
Oh wow, 33 ingots is only going to cost us 693. We might as well just go ahead and buy all of those. And we'll buy like, we'll start with like 5 pieces of leather.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
How did that already get sharpened? Did it just come that way when I made it? I don't know. Okay. We're officially ready to level up. That means we need to go train 5 times really quick somewhere before we level up.
The finest weapons and armor. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Until next. Fine.
What do we have? What do we have? Smithing 21. Alchemy 18. Okay. So we should probably train alchemy, since that's the one that's behind right now.
Staying safe, I hope.
I work with my mother, sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Let me know if you see anything you like. Pardon me, but I think I can teach you a thing or two. Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
Now when we level up, we'll immediately be able to train again, and we'll probably level up again as soon as we do.
Come on in. We got warm food,
This
warm
is a local
drinks,
favorite and
warm beds.
one of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red. Oh, there once was a hero.
Security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles and gold he had made.
So, at first, though I'm training these two, I'm going to ignore those right now. And I'm going to put my points in speech so that I can sell items for 10% more. Covers both of those skills, kind of, because I'm selling items from both categories. So, more money.
But then he quieted Ragnar the
And look how close I am to leveling up already.
Red. The shield maiden Matilda
Very close. So, I'm going to go train 5 more times, if I have the money, that is. Alchemy 23. And then blacksmith is 21, so I'll train blacksmith this time.
And you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed.
The security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was
Fresh baked loaves. Still
I work
warm
with my
in the
mother,
oven.
sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of finest products.
I breathe now, royal, and reshape this land which is
I will train 2 here, and then I'll train 3 alchemy. Because I'm about to do a lot of blacksmithing with those ingots I bought. Oh, wait a second. You have to do a task for him before you can get...
You blind boy? I'm a blacksmith. Any halfwit could see that. The Skyforge? Aye, my clan fathers have worked it since the first Greymanes came to Whiterun. Skyforge steel is all the companions will use, for good reason. By Ismir, are you thick, or just too new to know better? The companions are the oldest, most honored band of warriors in Skyrim. Whiterun was built around their hall, Yorthasker. Don't reckon they could use you, but stranger things have happened. Why? Who says I have to be? Skyforge steel is my art and honor. The companions need the best, so they come to me. Gods be praised.
So I went to Yorlin Greymane to seek training and was denied. That's the headcanon of our roleplay. Yorlin Greymane was somewhat disrespectful to us. Obviously very focused on his work. Not taking it personally. I'm sure he's under a lot of stress with the war. You have to complete the companion's quest. Take up arms before Yorlin will train you in blacksmithing. That is not on the table for Ygritte. So we're going to be training in blacksmith. But we're going to do that, alchemy. We're going to do that tomorrow, though.
Come by Bellathor's shop at the market. I'm sure we've got something you need. What can I do for you?
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything.
Oh,
Think
there
I
once
got
was
to
a
clean my
hero
around here
named
somewhere.
Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun
Mister,
from old
could you spare a coin?
A fine day. Are you joking? You just rented a room from me.
Told of bold battles in gold.
Need anything else? Just let me know.
But then he went quiet.
Did you need something?
Ragnar the Red when he met the shield maiden Matilda.
Security in
who said,
Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
Oh, you
Bannered Mare is packed tonight.
Now I think
So
it's
selling
high
my
time that
clothes
you
is
lie
really
down
the
and
only thing I
bleed. And so then came clashing and slashing
so
of steel as the
hungry.
brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal.
Oh, thank you, divines. Bless your kind heart.
When his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
It's what Brennan said I should do. He's the only one that's been nice to me since she died. My aunt and uncle took over our farm and threw me out. Said I wasn't good for anything. I wound up here, but I don't know what to do. I miss her so much.
I plan on moving to Falkreath once I get the letter from the Jarl there, but I have no in-game reason to do that. Living at the inn here in Whiterun is good enough.
I enjoy this work well enough. Are you joking? You just let's sate that appetite, hmm?
Ow, ow, ow.
I think I've got some mugs need scrubbing. Sadia, wake up, dear. Yes, Mum.
People left. Cotton hue.
Need to take just a little break here. Been streaming for a while, but we have a setup here.
You want a drink? Now please, no more questions.
It's my desire to enter the Bard's College. My parents are hesitant, but I pray they let me attend. All I want is to escape from this madness, and if Olfina can come with... all the better. But I've probably said too much.
You're the best. Can you be my father?
Yes?
So have you spoken to that man from the Bard's College?
No, not yet. But I will. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Oh, John, stop dallying. You know you have to go. It's why Mara put you on this earth. You think a few miles can truly...
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials. We drink to our youth, to days come and gone. For the age of aggression is just about done. We'll drive out the stormcloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home.
What can I get you?
Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the
Hungry,
day
tired,
of
or
your
just
death,
plain
we will
thirsty?
Drink and we'll sing.
Yeah?
Children of Skyrim, and
Need
we
something?
fight all our lives. The Southern
Yes?
Guard beckons, every one of us dies.
Huh?
But this land is ours, and we'll see
Need
it
something?
wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Yeah? I...
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
Need something? Need something?
Did you raise your prices, Carlotta?
I had to. The farmers are charging me double for
Huh?
the produce I sell.
Yeah?
Let me guess. They're saying it's because of this trouble with the Stormcloaks?
Yeah?
Exactly. Road patrols were cut in half because the Jarl needed soldiers. Now the bandits are bolder than
Yes?
ever. They've been raiding the farms for food, and supplies are scarcer than ever. Maybe I should sell
something?
swords and armor instead.
Maybe. But they wouldn't taste
Yes?
as good as a loaf of fresh-baked pumpkin.
Yeah?
Yeah? Yeah?
Mind your manners and pay your bills. You'll always be welcome.
I'm so hungry.
This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever heard.
Yeah?
Ragnar the Red. Once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rixstead.
Need something?
The braggart did swagger and vanish his plane as he told of bold battles and gold he had made. But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh, you talk, you lie, and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more.
Huh?
When his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Need something? I
Need something?
Yes?
Need something?
What do you need, handsome?
Need something?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know
This
you
is an
money.
ode to Skyrim's staunch
Need something?
protectors.
Yes?
We bring to our youth to days come and gone.
Yeah?
The age of aggression is just about done. Drive out the storm cloaks and restore what we own. Your blood and our steel we will take back our down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death we will drink and we'll
Yes?
sing. Children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. Sovngarde beckons, and none of
Need
us
something.
dies. But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Yes? Yeah? Need something?
This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever heard. Ragnar the Red. Oh, there once was a
Need
hero
something?
named Ragnar the Red.
Need something?
Riding to Whiterun from old Rixstead.
Yes?
Braggart did swagger and vanish
Need
his
something?
blade as he told of bold battles and gold he had made.
Yeah?
But then he went
something?
quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said,
Need something?
"Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our
Yeah?
mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more. When his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Yes?
Need something?
Need something? Spare coin for a poor beggar?
Need something.
Huh?
Yes?
Huh? Need something?
Yes?
Need something?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for sticking around during my break. I hope you enjoyed the ambience of the bannered mare.
Riding to Whiterun from Old Rorikstead.
And for now, we've wound down to where there's not a whole lot going on in the chat, though there are many people here watching now. I appreciate every one of you being here. I hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, consider leaving a like. It helps out the channel more than you can know.
When he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed."
We're just going to sleep until shopping hours. Because he doesn't have a whole day planned of chopping wood today. He's going to be walking around taking care of other kinds of business. Because Ygritte is not a lumberjack. He does what he needs to do. His ultimate goal is to become the best merchant in Skyrim. Which is why Isolde will end up falling for him. Not only does he have her ambition, he has the skill to accomplish what she does not. Oh, we forgot to go do our training with the alchemist. So let's go ahead and take care of that first thing this morning. The plants in Whiterun are literally respawning as we walk by them. Because it's been a few days since we got here. We looted everything on the first day so that within a few days it would start growing back. And then we can do it again. A little bit at a time. Acadia's cauldron is taking a little longer to open than usual today.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over. If it's work you need, how? Sure thing. It's yours for. Take a look. Drink for the thirsty? Food? Let's sate that appetite, hmm? I'll show you your room, right this way.
Go have a drink, some strong Nord mead, and then we'll go check and see if Acadia has woke up
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
The security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
I need a short nap after all of that alchemy lessons. All of those alchemy lessons. Grants the perform power. Once a day, play a song to entertain up to 5 people within 50 feet and collect a donation from each, based on your speech skill and the amount of gold they are carrying. Well, if we're going to be playing a song, we're going to need to go get an instrument.
Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. Oh, a bit of this.
No instrument.
I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a joke. You just let me know what you need. I am at your beck and call. Welcome to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed.
So, here's my idea. Because I've been staying in the Bannered Mare for a while now, a lot of things have become available to me to pick up, depending on their value. I know there's instruments upstairs in the Bannered Mare, and I'm wondering if at this point it would be stealing or not.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials.
Have I reached the point where I can pick? Yeah, I can take things right now that are of certain value. So if I can find an instrument in here, I can probably take it for free. I believe there's one upstairs, if I'm not mistaken.
Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons,
I can take that gold.
every one of us dies.
I can take a lot of things, and I believe I will. I'll take this cheese.
Of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
This is basically my home. I've paid them enough gold. I've chopped enough wood for this place that I feel like I'm entitled to take some things, to be honest. Letter from Maven. What's this? Christoph, upon reading your last letter, I was deeply touched. You're right. I was angry. But now I realize my anger was misplaced. It's time to leave our disagreements in the past and rekindle our friendship. I'll be sending someone to fetch you and bring you to Riften. I wish to avoid a scene, so he'll be calling at night. Make sure you pack all your belongings securely, as the journey could be rather treacherous. Maven Blackbriar. I don't mind if I do. Now, that kind of hat will keep a Nord warm.
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
Actually, I'm looking for an instrument. Drum. Loot. I can take either.
Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead.
Boots.
And the braggart
Okay.
could swagger and brandish
I'll take the loot.
he told of bold battles he had made. But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he
Now,
met the
clearly,
maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh,
I cannot
lie and you drink all our mead. Now I
play
can't
here.
time that you lie down and
We already have a bard playing here, so
came crashing and slashing
I need to find somewhere else where at least 5 people are... What's the radius of it? Does it say? Perform. Play a song for 30 seconds and collect a donation from people. From up to 5 people in the audience. Weapons must be sheathed. The audience. It doesn't quite give me a range, does it?
when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor. We drink to our youth, today's come and gone. The age of aggression.
I just opened the wrong door. I guess you can't really equip the loot, though. It's okay. Let's just see what happens when we perform it. Let's find a space where there are at least 5 NPCs gathered here in town. We're going to be a street bard, because all of the taverns are accounted for. Now, that's not to say that all taverns always have bards, though, because the tavern in Markarth do not remember the name of it. The tavern in Markarth, that bard is only there for a little while during the evening, and then he goes home. He has a really nice home. He's the master trainer in speech in Skyrim, so he's really well to do. He only has to bard for a few hours, and he just does it because he likes it. So, and he's very good at it, by the way. But 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nazim. Alright, Nazim. You're my kicker. Let's see what happens here. I have never done this before. Perform.
That's right. Mock the town beggar like everyone else. But I've got a right to know, don't I?
I gained 64 gold, and I gained speech.
Customers away.
The gods smile on them who show charity.
Hopefully, I also gained favor with those people.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the
Though.
merchant's trade. I need more experience.
You tried
if I'm going
mercenary
to run
work?
an
I do
innocent
not know.
Spare a coin for a fellow.
Before I go do some
So
smithing,
you can spend it on drinks at the Banner.
I want to go
Hand.
check
If it's
for
free,
a very
ask
specific
for that
item.
instead.
Finest cuts, fresh from the
Never
wild.
use it.
And I'm not
Take a
going to
good
tell
look
you what
around.
it
I'm
is
sure
unless
you'll
I find
what
it.
you're looking for.
And
If
I'm
not,
only going to
let me
tell
know
you
and
what
I'll
it
get
is
stored
when
away.
I find it. And why.
Everything's for... Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Nope.
Do come back.
Now, hey,
Mighty
he had some stuff I
trinkets,
might want,
odds and
though.
ends, that sort of thing.
He had some ingots, iron ore, steel ingots. I'm gonna take them.
Remember, I'll give you the best deals or die trying.
Good to know. I can do a Bellathor impersonation, by the way. Remember, I'll give you the best deals or die trying. That might not have been the best. Let's see. Let's hear another one.
You just let me know what you need. I am at your beck and call.
You just let me know what you need. I am at your beck and call. Let's see.
Welcome to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed.
Welcome to General. I messed that one up.
I know what you're thinking.
He's getting
This
too high pitched on
Bellathor,
me.
How could he part with such magnificent treasures? Till next time.
Until next time. He's a little too high pitched for me these days, I guess.
Are you still working at the Bannered
The
Man
finest
in the
cuts,
evenings,
fresh
Ulfina?
from the wilds.
And why shouldn't I? Just because I'm a Greymane doesn't mean I can't earn my own keep. I didn't mean... I'm sorry I asked.
Hey, she didn't mean anything by it, Alfida.
What's the matter? You can't... I miss the days when the Greymanes and Battleborns got along. Ever since the war started, we've been at each other's throats. There's nothing a man can do that I can't do better. Whether it's serving drinks or slaying trolls.
Now, this is the only quest that I've paid attention to yet in the city. Because I met a family who said they made the claim that during the rebellion, during a battle, their family member, Thorald, went missing. And everyone claims he's dead, but the Battleborns claim that the Greymanes know his fate. He's alive and in captivity. They know what happened to him. That's the claim. And so that's the context of this question. Is there anything you can tell me about Thorald?
It's been a while now. I miss him, but it's clear he's not coming back.
Oh, that's her brother. Sorry, I got it
What he was
backwards.
Getting into. I don't blame anyone.
I had it backwards, sorry. That's her brother. So the Greymanes are looking for their brother, their family member, and the Battleborns are the one who knows what happened. Sorry. Okay, let's go do some smithing. We got all kinds of ingots to use.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect me. I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead.
Thinking of settling in? There's a house for sale. Breeze home. You should talk to the steward up in the keep if you're interested.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside. I don't claim to be the best blacksmith. Take a look. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Okay, time to do some math. Iron plate armor, 5 iron ingots, 3 leather strips. I have 50 iron ingots that can be used for that, so that's 10 iron plate armor, so I need 30 leather strips, and I have 2, so I need 28 leather strips. 1 leather creates 4 leather strips, so I need 7 sets of leather turned into leather strips. And I have how many leather? 16. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I should have enough. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I have a little bit of an issue because I need 6 more ingots. Because without 6 more ingots,
more inside.
I can't upgrade all of these.
Have you met my father? He's the steward up at Dragon's Room. I help my father and take a look.
That's okay. I don't need to upgrade all of them. Just go ahead and sell it.
Till next time.
Nice doing business with you.
You think all the counsel my father provides the Jarl is his alone? Huh. Let's just say I advise the advisor and leave it at that.
Right, everyone advises the Jarl. Nazim advises the Jarl. I guess everyone thinks they're cool if they advise the Jarl. Whoop-de-doo. What does it all mean, Basil?
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds. A fine day to you. Take a look. Need anything else? Just let me know.
I will.
Need something?
No, I don't need anything. I need another set of 24 hours to go by so I can play some more music, but that's not, matter of fact, it's not very in character for him to go to sleep at 5:30. So if he is out of things to smith, and we don't really have enough alchemy ingredients to make a huge impact right now. There's only one thing left to do.
Chops and steaks fit for a Jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Fresh baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale.
Chops and steaks fit for a Jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Fresh baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds. Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Fresh baked loaves, still
Chops
warm
and
from
steaks
the
fit
oven.
for a Jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Now, if we keep leveling up like this,
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
then very soon we're going to be getting a letter from the Jarl in Falkreath, who
Ripe fruit and fresh
will
vegetables
get
for sale.
wind of the fabulous sets of iron plate mail armor we've been making,
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish
and
fowl?
will request our
Treat
presence in
yourself and your kin
Falkreath.
to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
At that point, we'll be moving and working toward buying a home in Falkreath.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds. Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats. Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Fresh baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
if you want anything.
This is a... favorite.
I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Ragnar the Red. Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the
Well
Red.
met, King's
I enjoy this work well enough, but I'm ready to retire. I've been thinking of... Are you joking? You just rented a room from me.
You
Need
know what's
anything
wrong
else?
with
Just let
Skyrim
me
these
know.
days? Everyone is obsessed
Then
with
he
death.
went quiet, did Ragnar
Oh, did you
the
need
Red, when he
something?
met the shield maiden
Security in
Matilda.
Whiterun is
said,
terrible. Shameful is what it is.
Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink.
Poetry,
What can I get you?
romance. I love a good sword fight.
Honest
as much
gold
as
for
the next,
honest work.
but there's more to life.
As the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal.
I think I've got some mugs need scrubbing.
And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more. When his ugly red head rolled around
Have
on
you
the
spoken
floor.
to that man from the Bard's College?
When his ugly redhead rolled around on the floor.
But I will. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Oh, John. Stop dallying.
Ygritte has moved up in the world a little bit to where he can get away with sleeping 12 hours if he feels like it. Not chopping wood for quite as long during the day if he feels like it. That's what the fancy fine hat represents in his life. Smithing's at 24, alchemy is at 28, so we need to focus on getting smithing up more and maybe doing something like training speechcraft instead. Which I'll need to take a trip to Markarth for that, which we can do. But first, I need to be able to create steel. Because those are the kinds of ingots that are for sale right now.
You know you have to go. It's why Mara put you... on this earth. You think a few miles can truly keep us apart?
You mean you won't forget about me the moment I'm out of sight? Get yourself a nice old rich husband, have 16 babies.
You
Come to a love of her
master
reading,
plan.
did you?
Now I suppose
It's
you'll never
working.
leave.
Are you joking? You take a look. Need anything else? Just let me know.
Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade. I need more experience if I'm going to run an inn someday. What's the matter? You can't stand the sight of a strong Nord woman?
That's not it at all.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. Have it stored away. Everything's for sale, my... Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Do come back.
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys.
Let me know if you see anything you like. You look rather pale. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Come back anytime. If you need a remedy. You'll find tonics, salves, poultices, and potions on my shelves. Browse to your heart's...
Just ate moon sugar, so he's feeling good.
If there's anything I can help you with, you have but to ask. I sell cures for all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you. I offer remedies for ailments both common and rare. Do let me know if I can be of service. You'll find tonics, salves, poultices, and potions on my shelves. Browse to your heart's content. Pardon me, but do I detect a... So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds. Oh yes, hunting is my great passion. That's why my brother and I opened a shop to sell hunting supplies. It's the Drunken Huntsman, down by the main gate. He tends the store, and I've got this stall.
Fresh baked loaves. Still
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Good hunting.
Come to chat with an old woman, Do your good deed for the day?
I spend a lot of time at the market stall.
Life's
so
hard
I can
enough
learn
with
the
all these men
merchant's trade.
propositioning me.
Need more
But that
experience if I'm
bard
going
is
to
the
run a ring
worst.
someday.
You've got no idea. Half the men in Whiterun have proposed to me. Some were even single. They'll never understand.
Fresh from the wild.
No amount of flowers or honeyed words are going to change my mind. Right now, all that matters is my daughter Mila. No man's going to get between me and my little girl. That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. Huh! If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of his, though.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wild.
Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
These fruits and vegetables are disappointing, Carlotta.
I get them fresh from the farms daily.
If you were getting them from my farm, they'd be twice as fresh.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you. No, even if you are my elder.
So I'm running into a small issue here. That's the idea, that everything you can build with steel ingots also requires at least one iron ingot. We already used all of our iron ingots.
Got some good pieces out. Looking to protect yourself? Or take a look.
Thankfully, she's replenished her stock.
Don't forget, I don't... Take a look.
That's a lot of iron ingots. Let's math this out a little better.
I'll take my leave then. Have you met my father? Take a look.
Steel ingots, we got 15. Okay. So that's 900 for 15. So we have 15 steel ingots. That's our base.
Until next time.
Actually, we have more than that. 18 steel ingots. Oops. Well, that won't work. We want something that's divisible by 18. So, you know, something that costs 3 ingots, steel ingots. Like these steel cuffed boots. Let's see if something costs more that also requires 3 steel ingots. Three steel ingots for 150. That's probably going to be our highest value. Whoa. 2 steel ingots for 150. That's the big ticket item right there. Steel soldier helmet. And that's it. So we can make 9 of these. So we need to buy 5 ingots for that set. We need also 18 leather strips. We might have that already. I don't know. Maybe not. No, we did all of those. So 20 divided by... Okay, so we need 5.
Got some good pieces. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything. I don't claim to be the best. Have you met my father? Take a look.
Yeah. Now.
I help my father. Take a look.
Now we spend the rest of our ingots on that as a base. And go to iron. Iron plate. 5 versus 3, so 8. Times 3 is 24. So 14 more. So I need to break down 4 more leathers. Do I have 4 leathers? Yes, I have exactly 4 leathers.
have some good pieces. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Okay. Well, we have 2 days before she refills her stock. So we're going to walk around, gather up the rest of these ingredients.
I work with my mother, sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Ygritte starts to chop some wood and realizes that all of the smithing this morning has made him weak of arm. He doesn't feel like chopping wood today.
Let me know if you want anything.
This is an
Think I got
ode
a
to
clean mug
Skyrim's
around here
staunch
somewhere?
protectors, the Imperials.
Oh, it's time to perform. I have my perform.
If it's work you're looking for,
If it's work you need,
Hulda's the one to talk to.
sure thing. It's yours for a day. Take a look. I'll show you to your room, right
Drive
this
out
way.
the storm cloaks and restore what we own with our blood and our sin.
One, two, three, four. I need one more. Okay, there's 5 right there.
They say Ulfric Stormcloak. murdered the High King.
Ah,
with
old
his
speech.
voice.
How may I help?
Follow
Shouted him
sausages.
apart.
I'm cooking a special breakfast for a friend, and they're his favorite.
Would your good friend be named John, by any chance? I've spied the two of you talking quite intimately.
Best you forget whatever you think you saw, Elf. Such idle talk can prove hazardous to one's health.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl.
What's the
Come and
matter?
see my
You
selection
can't
of the
stand
finest
the sight of a
quality
strong lord woman?
I work with my mother. Sell
Spare a
fruits and
coin
vegetables.
for a fellow who's down
It's
on
fun
his luck.
most days. The
So
hard
you can
work.
spend it on drinks at the Bannered Mare? If it's food you need, ask for that instead.
Never.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Well, I think it's time to confront
The security in
Mikhail.
Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
Mikhail. We don't have to do this around, everybody. Let's come over this way.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Once Mikhail gets them, they're got. Carlotta put you up to this, didn't she? I'm sorry, but that fiery widow is mine. She just doesn't know it yet. Oh, hey there. I didn't mean to make you upset. On my honor, Carlotta won't have to worry about me again. Some parting advice? Women love sonnets.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale. Straight from the fields and orchards of Whiterun to your table. Really? You convinced that lute player to stop chasing me? I'd thank the gods, but I'll settle for thanking you. Here's some coin for your help. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
What's the matter? You can't stand the sight of a strong Nord woman?
I don't suppose you're going to buy something this time?
Just browsing today. If the gods
I miss
be
the
kind,
days when the
someone
Greymanes and
will take
Battleborns
mercy
got
on me and
along.
spare a few
Ever
seconds.
since the war started, we've
If they
been at
do,
each other's throats.
promise you'll... Something for once?
By Eastmere, I will. Gods know it's been too long since I tasted real meat.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Did you raise your prices, Carlotta?
I had to. The farmers are charging me double for the produce I sell.
Let me guess. They're saying it's because of this trouble with the stormcloaks?
Exactly. Road patrols were cut in half because the Jarl needed soldiers.
Hello, child of
Now
Kingdom.
bandits are bolder than ever. They've been raiding the farms.
The finest
Food
cuts,
and
fresh
supplies
from
are
the wilds.
scarcer than ever. Maybe I should sell swords and armor instead.
Maybe. But they wouldn't taste as good as a loaf of fresh-baked pumpernickel.
Chops and steaks
What
fit
might
for a
you be
jarl.
looking at?
Come and see my selection of the finest
Oh, the fruit looks so good. So juicy.
No handouts today, Red. No scat. We'll scare off my paying customers.
Oh, just one apple, Carlotta. Just one tiny apple. I'll pay you tomorrow, I swear it.
That's what you said last week, and the week before that. Now go, before I call a guard.
No, no. Don't do that. No need to do that. I'm going, see? I'm leaving. No guards, please.
Look, come back tomorrow, okay? If I have anything left that's not sold or spoiled, you can have it.
You've got the heart of Mara herself, you know that? Thank you, Carlotta. Thank you.
Fresh-baked loaves, still warm from the oven. Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale.
Lately, it seems I am more nurse than priestess, tending to those who have suffered, both in mind and body, from this terrible war.
How goes the begging today, Brendan?
That's right. Mock the town beggar like everyone else. But I've got a right to browse, don't I? I ain't hurting anyone.
Make it quick, then. I don't want your stink driving my customers away.
The gods smile on them who show charity. Best you remember that.
These are trying times for us all, I know. Many come to the Temple of Kinneret to pray, and I assist them as best as I'm able.
I ain't done nothing.
There's a rift here in Skyrim. Can't neither magic nor the passing of time make it right. Evgir Onslaught has come at last. The season unending. War without end.
met kinsmen.